welcome back to my channel. My name is Andy, sometimes Mouse, and I talk about books and book-related things, and today I am giving you my kind of short and sweet August TBR. I also have made the devastating mistake of this TBR being predominantly ebooks and physical books and not audiobooks, so I'm probably going to regret that later, but that's a problem for August me and not a problem for right now me, so here we are. If you don't know, I am currently in the process of sort of clearing out all of the series that I had started and then kind of forgotten about and never picked up again. You would think that that means maybe I don't need to read it because I didn't have interest in it. No, it just means that I am simply very forgetful, which we knew, that's not surprising. So there are a lot of series continuations in this specific list because of that. I want to knock out as many of the book series that I have just one book left to read as possible, and if I can knock them out without having to reread the series, even better. Some of them are going to require rereads of the series and some of them aren't, but this is something I'm currently doing, so just, stay on the lookout for that, as it's going to take me a while to get through it. I might end up knocking out a lot of it through CLEARURSHT, since I usually do TBR clear outs, so this would be like a series clear out for a CLEARURSHT in November and December. But anyway, I digress. Let's get into the TBR. As always, I'm going to go ahead and start with those series continuations, just because I don't generally give you the summaries for those, because I'll usually be several books within the series, and at that point, the summaries are spoilers. So first we have book 8 in the Encrypted series by Shauna McGuire, and that book is This Ain't Witchcraft. The last few of them we've been following Antimony Price and her roller derby crew and all of that as she kind of pays the price for the things that Verity has done in previous books. So it's interesting. I've been enjoying them, and I'm very excited to read the next one. Then we have Alcatraz versus the Knights of Crystallia by Brandon Sanderson. This is the third book in the Alcatraz versus the Evil Librarians series. This is a middle grade series that I have been reading and really enjoying. The book follows Alcatraz as he learns about his family history and also all of the secrets that the evil librarians have been keeping from him. So, very fun, very interesting. Next, we have Among the Impostors by Margaret Peterson Haddix, which is the second book in the Shadow Children series. The Shadow Children is kind of an older series. My friend and cousin Ozzy's husband recommended it to me, and I really enjoyed the first one, and they're actually pretty short books. This is a young adult to middle grade-ish dystopian series where you were only supposed to have a certain amount of children or something, and so some people had undocumented children and have been keeping them a secret, and there's this just underground network of those kids. This is about that. So we'll see how it goes. The first book was kind of interesting. I'm excited to read the next one. Next we have a reread and then the sequel, and that is going to be The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea by Maggie Takuta Hall. Yeah, I was saying it right. This book was one of my first sapphic books that I read when I first started doing online book stuff. Back in 2020, I read this for the first time, and I enjoyed it a lot. It was one of my favorite books. I don't think I've read it since then, so it'll be kind of interesting to pick it up and read it again. This book follows these pirates that are supposed to be taking Evelyn is supposed to be going to an arranged marriage or whatever, and there is Florian, who is a pirate who can't read, and Evelyn is teaching her to read, or teaching them to read, and then mermaids and witches are also involved. Don't worry about it. It was a really romantic book, and I liked the writing style a lot, and I had a lot of fun reading it at the time, so I'm interested to read it again. It is really a love story in the most magical sense of the phrase. So it'll be interesting. It's also young adult, and this is back when young adult actually meant young adult, so there wasn't really sex in it. So I'm excited about that. And I will also be reading the sequel, which is The Siren, the Song, and the Spy. I didn't expect this to have a sequel at all, and I don't know if anybody else did, because the sequel didn't come out until 2023, and this book was published in 2020 or 2019, one or the other. So I'm interested to see what that sequel looks like. Is it actually a sequel? Is it just set in the same world, different story? I don't know. We'll see. Next we have Wicked Villains Shorts by Katie Roberts. This is just short stories within the Wicked Villains series. This is an adult book, and that's all I've got for you. Don't ask me questions. This is one of those I only had one book left and I don't have to reread the entire series to know what's happening. Series continuation, so don't even worry about it. Next we have Whisper Me a Love Song Volume 2 by Iku Takashima, which also, side note, registered that I had a ton of manga that I had started and then not finished. Not for any particular reason, I just never finished it, so now I'm going to be trying to read at least one or two of those throughout the month, or throughout this process, month to month. I'm going to be trying to read one or two of them. I might reread the first one as well, just because it's been so long since I read it, but it is about a rock band spending time together and two girls starting to wonder, like, how can one little word make everything so complicated? It's very will they, won't they, but not in the same way that A Tropical Fish Yearns for Snow was. It's like they do like have the sapphic relationship. A Tropical Fish Yearns for Snow was very like, will they, won't they, psych, they're just friends, which is really upsetting, honestly. So this is actually genuinely sapphic and I'm excited to read it. Alright, on to things that are not just series continuations, so I can actually tell you about them. First up, we have I Feed Her to the Beast and the Beast is Me by Jamison Shea. This is a horror young adult novel that has been on my TBR for a bajillion years. Lore Mesny is a perfectionist with an axe to grind. Despite being constantly overlooked in the elite and cutthroat world of the Parisian ballet, she will do anything to prove that a black girl can take center stage. To level the playing field, Lore ventures deep into the depths of the catacombs and strikes a deal with a pulsating river of blood. Never do that, besties. That's a terrible plan. Why would you do that? The primordial power Lore gains promises influence and adoration, everything she's dreamed of and worked toward. With retribution in mind, she surpasses her bitter and privileged peers, leaving broken bodies behind her on her climb to stardom. But even as undeniable as she is, Lore is not the only monster around, and her vicious desires make her a perfect target for slaughter. As she descends into madness and the mystifying underworld beneath her, she is faced with the ultimate choice: continue to break herself for scraps of validation, or succumb to the darkness that wants her exactly as she is. Monstrous heart and all. That is, if the God Killer doesn't catch her first. That sounds so fun, and I'm very excited about it. It sounds like exactly the kind of horror book that I want to read, especially because it is a young adult horror, and I do love young adult horror a lot, actually. I think that sometimes it's even scarier than adult horror, because adult horror is like, it's so scary, taxes. Okay, yeah, they're stressful, but relax. Take a break. You know? So... Next up, we have Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. This is another one that's been on my TBR for ages. Eden, Kentucky is just another dying, bad luck town known only for the legend of E. Starling, the reclusive 19th century author and illustrator who wrote The Underland and disappeared. Before she vanished, Starling House appeared. But everyone agrees that it's best to let the uncanny house and its last lonely heir, Arthur Starling, go to rot. Opal knows better than to mess with the haunted houses or brooding men, but an unexpected job offer might be a chance to get her brother out of Eden. Too quickly, though, Starling House starts to feel dangerously like something she's never had: a home. As sinister forces converge on Starling House, Opal and Arthur are going to have to make a dire choice to dig up the buried secrets of the past and confront their own fears, or let Eden be taken over by literal nightmares. If Opal wants a home, she'll have to fight for it. Don't we all, buddy? Don't we all? I like Alex E. Harrow's writing quite a bit, so I'm excited about this. Next, we have, for my nonfiction pick for this month, Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zauner. This is a memoir about growing up Korean American, the loss of her mother, and also just like forging your own identity. I imagine this has got quite a bit of diaspora? Am I saying that correctly? Concepts in the book, which I find interesting. I don't know how else to word that phrase, what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I'm excited to read it. It's something that's been on my TBR. I think a lot of people have read it since it came out. Like, I think it was really well received. So, yeah. Also, the cover's kind of cool. I think the cover's kind of fun. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I just really want ramen. I don't know. Anyway, I don't even think that's ramen on the cover. The idea of ramen sounds good right now. Anyway, moving on. Next up, we have from the box of books that I got from Random House, we have Looking for a Sign by Susie Dumond. This is a sapphic romance that is based out of like astrology. They talk about astrology quite a bit. A queer Aries dives headfirst into the New Orleans dating pool with a zodiac-based challenge in this new romance. Apparently this person wrote Queerly Beloved, which I haven't read, so there you go. Basically, the main character visits an astrologer and is challenged to date someone from each zodiac sign not is challenged, but decides to make up this challenge where they date someone from each zodiac sign in order to like test their compatibility and like find the person of their dreams. It's almost kind of like, I don't know, 99 Boyfriends sort of, like where, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. It feels like that, like, I don't know. Or they're someone who goes on dates to like write blog posts or something. I think that's a book. I know it's a movie, but I think it's a book too. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, moving on. I do think this will be fun. And after that, I have Peach Pit, which one of my mutuals edited. That would be Molly Llewellyn, and Art got me this, so I'm really excited about it. This is 16 short horror stories of unsavory women, and we gotta love that. It's monstrous, scary women. I don't know what else you want me to say about this, but I'm excited to read about scary women. I also am excited to read an anthology of horror books, horror stories. I think those are very fun. They're kind of hit or miss for me, but I generally have fun reading some of the stories at the very least. And that's it. Those are the 12 books that I'm going to be reading this month. I might pick up a few more, or reading in August. I might pick up a few more, just completely dependent on life and if I knock these out or not, because I'm going to be reading a lot of them with my eyeballs instead of with my earballs, so that'll be interesting. I don't know why I did this to myself, but here we are. Yeah, that's the TBR. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these books before and if you had good thoughts or whatever, because by the time this video goes up, I will have probably read a couple of them and we can talk about them. Let me know if any of these books sound interesting to you. I will probably talk about them in my wrap-up. It's going to be an interesting, this TBR is my most genre diverse, I think, that I've had in a while. I have a kitten that's destroying a box in the background, sorry. So I think it'll be a fun time. But that's it. That's the video. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe and share, please. It benefits me a lot. Also, commenting helps that stupid algorithm think that you guys like my videos, so do that, please. It's helpful. I appreciate it a lot. I post videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time every single week, except for the first full week of the month, because taking breaks is important. And that's it. I will see you guys later this week on Thursday. Don't forget to take your meds, drink your water, and do something today to take care of yourselves. Okay, thanks, bye.